Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Catalina, owner of Krafts made by Kat, a small business that sells cute handmade goods. And if you're back for another video, thank you for coming back. It's another studio vlog. I am still working on restocking inventory, just like last week's video. This is gonna take a few weeks to do because not only am I restocking my inventory, but I'm also going to make new products while also working on a wholesale contract as well. So I have a lot going on, including some other stuff on top of that I didn't mention. So we're just gonna get straight into this video. Last week's video ended on finishing a couple things and then a whole bunch of mini whale bodies that were in this crate. So you can see there's still a ton left in here. I did finish a few. Oops. It looks like there's 11 done in this bin, which means I have a lot of bodies to finish. As I showed you, these are all the heads, so I need to just continue putting the bodies on there, and then I will have all the whales done, and then I can move on to a different sort of plushie. It is already late afternoon. I'm recording this later, which is why I have some whales done, but I'm just starting this video now. So I'm just going to continue working on the whale bodies. I did want to update as well. Last week I was working on the tags. You guys seen in that video that I cut all 600 of the tags out. Last night I went ahead and I hole punched them. So you can see in the corner, I decided to just use the regular size hole punch that I have. And I hole punched every single one of these guys, and then I went through my inventory through Square to see how many individual plushies I had, and then I counted that number of cards, and then I marked polyester and spot clean only with a black pen. And then I took the stitch markers, which I'm not sure how in detailed I went into it in last week's video, but I got a 500 pack of stitch markers for $5 on Amazon, and I figured this was my best option. So this is what the stitch marker looks like. You use these for crocheting to keep count of where you are, but I'm using them like a safety pin, so you just put it through the tag and then stick. I can take one of these plushies as an example. So for the mini whale specifically, I put it in the right fin. So then I just take it and I stick it in the stitch, and then I close the stitch marker, and then the plushie has a tag on it. It's as simple as that. So I went ahead and I tagged every single one of my plushies, so they all have a tag that say polyester and spot clean only on them. I did not put the prices on the back of the tags, and the reason I didn't do that is because some of this inventory is going to be for a wholesale order, and the prices that they're selling them in their shop aren't going to be the same as the prices that I sell them for, because of how the numbers crunch when it comes to wholesale handmade plushies. So I just left the back of the top card blank, and I'm gonna get small labels like Avery labels you can get at Walmart, and I'm just gonna bring that with me when I go to the shop. And then most of the time you would order a wholesale, whatever you want, and then you prepare it and then you drop it off or ship it or whatever. This we're doing a little bit differently. She's just gonna go through the inventory that I'll have and buy what she wants, which is fine because I need to restock my inventory anyway for future markets, so that's fine. I'm just not gonna do the whole barcode and price thing that I would do for like my markets and online and all that stuff. I'll save that for after this wholesale order when I can restock my inventory again. So now that you're caught up on that, I'm going to continue working on the whale bottoms. I'm hoping I can get through all of these by the end of the day today. Alrighty, today is Tuesday. It's currently 3 o'clock. I went shopping this morning, had to take care of some stuff, but yesterday I did finish all of the mini whales. So they're all in this bin. I put the bottoms on all of them and stuffed them, so they're all completely done now. As you can see here, now we have completed cute mini whales. These things sell like crazy, so I always have to batch make a huge amount, and I have so many different color options, like different color variations, so even when I only make 5 of each color, I end up with like 90 whales when I restock and stuff like that. I actually don't know what number I would be at. I'd have to do the math, but I completely restocked the mini whales, so that is good. I'm currently editing a video because I'm getting ready to post on social media in a minute. Quick sidetrack, I did stop at Michael's because I like to just keep an eye out for Sweet Snuggles Light or Chenille Home Slim yarn. I am getting low on their yarn, and I'm gonna have to switch over and buy another yarn to use until they bring their yarn back. Fortunately though, when I did go, they had 2 skeins of yarn that were good, and one of the colors I am completely out of. Side note though, I got Fluffy Flex, the pink one. They have these on clearance for $5. I think these came out around springtime, so now they're getting rid of them. So I have been slowly collecting them, and then when the clearance hit, I got 2 of them, and the pink was the last one that I needed, and thankfully this was the last one they had, and I found it like way up high in the actual aisle, so I picked this up. So now I have all 8 of the colors. No idea what I'm gonna make with it, but I have it, just like all the other yarn I have over here that I don't touch, but I do have it to use it, so I'm glad that I have all the colors. And then actual yarn, so I use a lot of colors, but I use pastel colors the most. And one of the pastel colors I use is baby green, and it's this like light mint color. I mainly use it for the hats, for the duck and the frog hats that I make, and the duck and frog hats also sell like crazy, not as well as the whales, bees, and octos do, but they're a close second. And after the 2 markets that I had, I only have 4 left. So I needed to make more hats, and I made these a while ago, but I ran the cake that I had used. I had finished, and I thought I had an extra skein, and I did not. I became completely out of this yarn after these 2. I might have a couple more hats in my basket over there with whips. Sometimes I prep stuff and then I put it off to the side, so there might be a couple in there. I know there's one that's partially done from me finishing the skein, but thankfully I did find a skein. So not all Michaels do this, but at least mine do. So when you go down the aisle, they have like those black bins at the bottom that they like store extra yarn in, and then some of them also have like the boxes that they get their shipments in above stacked up, and they have yarn stashed in there too. And they had this skein stashed in one of the boxes. It's all messed up because they use like a receipt to relabel it, but the yarn is perfect. This is good yarn, exactly what I needed too. So I obviously bought it, and then I also found a skein of ice green as well. This one I don't need as badly because I do still have a whole skein and a small cake, but this yarn is hard to find. and I do use it up. It's a good mint color, so I went ahead and just grabbed it because it was there, so I took care of it. This was a must, absolutely. So at least I have that, so now I can make more duck and frog hats without having to use a different color or switch yarns or something like that. This video is taking forever, but I am going to work on axolotls because I only need to make 7, and the majority of the ones I need are in this color, the green mix. And axolotls sell well, and they will definitely sell for wholesale. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the axolotls. Alrighty, so today is Wednesday. I'm recording this pretty late. Today I have been taking care of some stuff. Last night I did work on some duck and frog hats, so these were the 2 I already had done. And it looks like I made 7 last night, within like an hour and a half. So I only need to make 9 more. No, 7 more because I have these 2. 7 more, but I just set those to the side because those are another thing that are easy to bulk make. I am wrapping up my inventory for axolotls. So based off of the inventory I have now and wanting to have 5 of each color, I need 4 green ones, 2 purple ones, and 1 pink one. So that is what I did. I just put the eyes on. I'm getting ready to hot glue them in a minute, and then I will make the bodies, stuff them, and do the rest of it. Alrighty, so it is a Thursday morning. Yesterday I did finish the axolotls. So we have the 2 purple axolotls, we have the 1 pink axolotl, and then we have the 4 green axolotls. So this makes me having 5 of each color. I do also have blue, but I already have all 5 blue, so I didn't need to make any. They do sell really well, so we'll see how they do with wholesale. I think they'd be a good hit for this aquatics place because they do actually sell axolotls there, and they're very loved by little kids now, so I think they'll do well even with all the different color options. Last night I did make more duck and frog hats. I now have all the duck and frog hats I need. There should be 16 here. I'm pretty sure I made 14 and 2 have eyes. So let's just, there we go. You can barely see, but they're all here. So today I think I am just going to cave and make these duck and frog hats because they can be a pain to make if I'm not at my desk. So I think I'm just gonna make them all. There's 16 that I need to make. So I'm gonna do that. Alrighty, today is Friday. It's really late. I haven't recorded yet today. I did a lot of stuff this morning, which is why I haven't really got anything done. But yesterday, I made 5 duck and frog hats of the yellow color. So this is what they look like. I stop at the feet row. And then once I do them all, I will add the safety eyes for the duck. And then I will add the last row, stuff it, and add the beak at the very, very end. So I have 6 of 9 yellow, and then I need to do the 7 white ones. And then last night, while I was watching TV, I made the 2 Mabel chicken bodies in white tweed. I finished one in just solid black, and then I started the second solid black one that I need. And that was all I did, so I just have like pieces of stuff that need to be completed. And then I also got a custom order today for a guinea pig, and it's got 3 colors in it. It's gonna be busy, so I'm probably gonna do that either this weekend or Monday or Tuesday at the latest, depending on what I need to get done beforehand. So I'm just gonna continue working on these ducks and Mabel chickens, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, today is Saturday. Today I am finishing up a whole bunch of these whips that I have created over the past day or two. So I am at the point in all of these whips where I need to add the safety eyes. So this is what I am working with right now. I have 9 yellow duck and frog hats that look like this. I have 7 yellow duck and frog hats that look like this. I have 2 white tweed Mabel chicken bodies, 2 white Mabel chicken bodies, and 2 black Mabel chicken bodies. So like I said, I'm at the point where they all need safety eyes put on and hot glued. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to continue crocheting and stuffing and sewing them closed until they're all done. Alrighty, so today is Tuesday of the next week. A lot has happened that I didn't show you guys, so this is going to be like a big chunk talking portion so that I can end this video. So the last that you guys see, I was working on the duck and frog hats, I'm pretty sure. So after I finished all of those, all 16 of them, I did make the mini octos, which I think there was also 16 of them that I ended up making. And then that was the end of the week. So I had made mini whales, mini maple chickens, axolotls, duck and frog hats, and mini octos last week. The reason I got cut off is because I've mentioned this before, but I'm working with a shop to sell wholesale in their like gift shop in their store. So that's what I was working on. There was some other parts that I was doing, like a painting as well. So I worked on that all day yesterday. I'll input a picture on the screen of them. They put it up on the wall. So I did that, and then while we were there, we ended up just doing the wholesale. So I brought all of my plushies with me, so that she could pick what she wanted, and we went from there. So she did buy a good chunk of stuff. I will also put a picture on the screen of what the gift shop looks like with my plushies in there. So she bought a good amount of stuff. This is my first like wholesale order that I've ever done, which is really exciting. So we did that. She got all the plushies. They were already tagged. She said that she's gonna go and write the prices on them herself. But other than that, everything was taken care of for her. There is also a pillar that they have in their store that she wanted me to design. So I took a pegboard and I cut it down to the size of the pillar. Well, my dad cut it down to the size of the pillar for me, and then I painted the pegboard red, and then I designed a sheet that was kind of like an about me type of page of my business. And then I was first going to use the pegboard hooks that came with it, but we ended up just zip tying a couple, I think like 7 or so plushies to the pegboard. It's kind of like a display type of thing. 7 different plushies to the pegboard as a display, so that no one can take them, they won't fall off, stuff like that. I don't have a picture of that, unfortunately, but on Thursday, like I said, today is Tuesday, she wants me to set up a table in the front of their store, or like once you go through the doors of their store in the front of the inside of the store. They're doing like a ribbon cutting summer type thing, and she wants me to set up in there, so I'm going to do that on Thursday, and hopefully the pegboard will be drilled into the pillar by that point, and then I'll take a picture of that, and I can all that will be posted on my social media, on my Instagram mainly. So if you want to see any of that, be sure to go over to my Instagram so you can see the photos that I'm going to post of all of that stuff happening. I spent today crunching numbers like crazy. Literally, it's 2:14. I've been doing this since 9 a.m. and I just finished taking care of everything. So basically what I had to do was I had to crunch the numbers for based off of what she bought, what amount of money was going to go back into my business, and then I needed to figure out the labor cost, which I charge $15 an hour, which is like, that's above minimum wage now, but 15 is kind of standard, so I just went with 15. And that labor cost price per item, per plushie that I make, goes to my personal bank account that I would use to quote-unquote pay bills, buy food, like normal people would when they have a regular job and they get paid by the hour. So I needed to split up the material cost and the profit to go back into my business, while the labor costs I keep for personal use because they needed to be separate. Since I own my own business, they all collide into one, which is why I started measuring out all of my items by weight, so that I could figure out how much it's costing me to make any one particular plushie material wise, and then that's why I was timing myself to figure out the labor cost, and then I combined that. Like I said, I will make an in-depth video of how I price my items specifically as a crocheter, but you can use this formula for anything that you make as a small business. I haven't mentioned this yet, but this will be the first little mention of it. I am planning on getting some fabric soon, so I can start making Kindle sleeves and bags and stuff like that. I'm really excited to get into that, but I've just kept the idea in my mind. I know I want to do it. I haven't gone out and bought any fabric. I haven't tested any sort of waters whatsoever. I do own a sewing machine, so that's not a big deal. But currently, the last time I went to go use my sewing machine to sew on some buttons onto my dog's clothes for the winter, I got an error message and I couldn't figure out how to fix it, and I haven't touched my sewing machine since then. So now that I'm done with this wholesale thing, I'm finally, we finally got it completed. I will touch my sewing machine hopefully this weekend, because like I said, I'm going to set up on Thursday, so I do want to restock some items that I would like to have on me in the store. So I'm gonna have to crunch down for the next tomorrow. I realized all I have is tomorrow because today it's already like 2 something. So that'll be in a different video, but I'm wrapping this video up because technically this video was supposed to come out yesterday, but I'm going to edit it to this video tonight, and I'm going to post this video tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, which is when you guys will see this video if you're watching it the day that it comes out. So yeah, I will continue market prepping and doing it in store and all that type of stuff in future videos. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.